Lamont Roach in training camp, ready for one of the biggest rematches.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, Roach is a hell of a fighter. He proved he was a hell of a fighter, so he need to get that credit. He's a hell of a fighter. I don't know who's gonna win that rematch.
For a while, does Lamont Roach just understand a way to beat or frustrate Tank in a way that others don't?
Lamont Roach returned strong on his first day back in training camp, preparing intensely for his biggest rematch against Gervonta Davis. He's focused, determined, and ready to make this camp count as he sharpens every skill to come back better and stronger in the ring than ever before.
Lamont Roach in training camp, ready for one of the biggest rematches in 2025 against Gervonta Tank Davis, one of the biggest faces in boxing. What a man.
Keyshawn Davis's perspective on the upcoming rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach highlights the unpredictability surrounding this bout. While Keyshawn sees it as an evenly matched contest, he points to a decline in Tank Davis's enthusiasm for boxing, suggesting it could affect his performance. Contrastingly, Roach is praised for his toughness and skill, which have earned him respect from peers and experts alike. This assessment introduces a compelling narrative, an underdog with motivation against a champion whose passion might be waning, setting the stage for a dynamic showdown.
Like which version he shows up with, and no disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespect for the Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like he in there fighting another grown man that ain't going for none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think Roach is gonna come with another game plan or something better or this, that, and third. So when they had a rematch, are y'all still gonna say, oh, Take's still not his full self ever since he fought whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like Roach is a hell of a fighter. He proved he was a hell of a fighter, so he need to get that credit. He's a hell of a fighter. I don't know who's gonna win that rematch. I honestly feel like Tank is losing love for the sport, or he lost the love for the sport, and he's no longer hungry anymore.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Yet you got a guy that's just super hungry and never had no attention, now getting all his attention, and now he get around two of his attention is like shit. That's kind of hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Tank is he's still a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's 50-50. And to your point, we were saying, okay, he lost love of the sport. I don't really think Canelo got...
Unlike many fighters who take extended breaks, Lamont Roach jumped right back into training after their initial bout. This early return to the gym signals a serious intent to improve and adapt. Meanwhile, Tank Davis has reportedly recognized the need to up his preparation, especially after showing a degree of carelessness in the first fight. Both fighters are now entering camp with renewed focus and dedication, promising a highly competitive rematch. This shared commitment to elevate their games indicates that fans should expect a bout filled with strategic adjustments and improved performances from both camps.
Lamont Roach throwing his hands fast as hell. He's in the gym preparing. I think the rematch with Roach versus Gervonta can actually be more exciting than the first one. In my opinion, I've said this many times, the actual fight itself wasn't that crazy. The crazy thing is what you've never seen before, the knee. But as far as a boxing match, it was, if you look at the copy box, they didn't throw a lot of punches. It wasn't like, it wasn't really a great fight. But as far as the fight itself, the second one can't, because I think Tank is coming for blood. He's not going to pull his punches at all. I don't think he really did the first time, but I'm not sure how well he prepared or how mentally focused he was. I think you're going to get the very best Tank in a rematch, and you may just get an even better Lamont Roach, since Lamont Roach don't have to speculate if he's good enough. He fought Tank. He has more confidence now than he did before, and he felt that he was robbed. So he's going to be on one. I think the rematch is going to be far more exciting.
The history between Roach and Davis transcends a typical matchup. It has become a defining rivalry that could shape their careers. Roach's ability to hold Davis to a draw disrupted the prevailing narrative around Tank's invincibility. Known for his knockout power, Davis faced a unique challenge in Roach's resilience and tactical intelligence. This stalemate demonstrated Roach's ability to match Davis punch for punch, forcing a reevaluation of both fighters' strengths and weaknesses. Armed with lessons learned, Roach's return is fueled by the confidence of having cracked Davis's code, now paired with a more rigorous training regime.
Better. But they've known each other. These two have known each other for a while. Does Lamont Roach just understand a way to beat or frustrate Tank in a way that others don't? You know what I mean? Like, has he just found it, so to speak? Like, I have a lot I want to find out after that, because the first fight was so controversial. I think leaving it up to a draw is fine, whatever, even though under the letter of the law, Tank probably should have lost this fight, and probably would have if they counted the knockdown when he took a knee. He blamed it on Grease. Roach a real shot, even though I still would say Tank figures it out and gets it done and takes it more seriously this time.
Yeah, I think that because they're so familiar with each other, like these guys fought each other when they were kids. And then Lamont Roach comes into the ring, and listen, regardless, like Lamont Roach came in there and he was confident. And I don't think a lot of people believed that he was going to be able to get it done against Tank. People thought that Tank was going to knock him out. Here's the thing, though. Tank is actually super skilled. Like, he doesn't throw a lot. When he does, he's extremely accurate, but he does have skill. And what he does is he reels in his fighters, and he ends up landing big shots on them that end up knocking his opponent out. I think Tank didn't look like Tank.
Shakur Stevenson's endorsement adds considerable weight to Roach's reputation. Calling him a hell of a fighter underscores the respect Roach commands within the boxing community. Stevenson points out that Roach's threat lies beyond mere strength. His impeccable timing, defensive skills, and unwavering determination make him a formidable opponent. This emotional intensity elevates the stakes of the rematch, as both fighters are expected to bring their absolute best. Commentator Joe Rogan's prediction of a war, rather than a simple contest, reflects the deep understanding that this bout is personal and crucial for both men's careers.
What do you think, considering you were one of the handful of people to pick Lamont Roach, giving him a tough fight? What do you see the rematch?
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
Ryan Garcia's commentary reinforces the recognition Roach has earned through his performance against Tank Davis. Garcia suggests Roach has established himself as a serious contender on boxing's grand stage, dispelling any doubts about his capabilities. For the rematch, the emphasis shifts to Tank Davis, whose legacy depends on how much heart and discipline he demonstrates. Garcia's insight highlights a psychological battle. While Roach has proven his mettle, Tank must now summon the resolve to avoid defeat. This narrative frames the rematch as a test of character and determination as much as skill.
Rematch play out if they do fight again. Sometimes not a loss, but something like this, a blemish, might get you back.
It can. It's all up to Tank. It's all about what, how he feels internally. I think, for him, it's a lot to do up here too, like all of us. But I think that's what you're going to get from Roach. That's what you're going to get at Roach every time, I think. I think it's up to Tank to see, what type of, how far he could go up.
How old is your oldest child?
For Roach, this fight is more than a contest. It is potentially a career-defining event. He is motivated by legacy, not financial gain, which fuels his intense preparation and focus. Defeating a fighter of Tank Davis's caliber would silence critics and elevate Roach to the top echelons of the sport. This mindset translates into disciplined training, measured tactics, and a palpable hunger in every move he makes inside the gym.
So the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is being targeted for June 21st in Las Vegas. Now, it's good that they're running it back without wasting any time, because Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. I mean, I thought he outboxed Tank the last time around. He came up a division as a gigantic 10-1 underdog, and he was the one on the front foot, landing his jab, the body shots, the combinations, throwing a lot more volume. I had it 7-5 Roach, and the no knockdown in round 9 was the reason it was a draw. If that knockdown was scored, that would have been a decision for Roach. But with all that being said, I do like Tank a lot more in the rematch. I thought he fought way too much on the back foot in the first fight, especially the first few rounds. He would land 1 or 2 punches per round. But as he started becoming the aggressor in the later rounds, he kept landing a lot more left hands and body shots. So Tank just needs to make this a dogfight, get into more exchanges, and that's where he'll land a lot more punches on Roach. When he's sitting on the back foot waiting for a counter, that's where Roach is comfortable and winning most of the rounds. So if Tank can fight the same way he did against Ryan Garcia, rounds 3 to 7, against Mario Barrios in the later rounds, or Frank Martin rounds 4 to 8, If he's the one on the front foot, then I do think he'll stop Roach in the rematch.
Insight from Lamont Roach's father and trainer reveals a fascinating dimension to the rivalry. According to him, Tank Davis was wary of Roach's abilities from the outset, not out of fear, but from strategic caution. This hesitation underscores the respect Tank had for Roach's skill set and potential to disrupt his winning streak. However, the business side of boxing, promoters, managers, and other stakeholders pushed for the match to proceed despite these concerns.
In camp, so knowing the coaches, they knowing us, work it's both ways. It ain't just our way, coming from both sides. So, but no, was I shocked? No. I think Tank tried to tell y'all. Calvin tried to tell y'all. Burry tried to tell y'all, but they didn't want to hear it. They just so stuck on trying to force Tank to fight who they want him to fight, and it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So it just was made for a great fight. So people need to just sit back and get ready for part 2.
It's gonna be epic, man. I can't wait for part 2, man. Do you got anything to say to the fans, about part 2, about anything that you got going on coming up, social media, anything?
You gonna see the difference. I believe we want to fight. Nobody can tell us different. The majority of the world believe we want to fight. So you're gonna see. Both of them gonna raise their level. Both of them. So yeah, they're gonna make for a greater fight. But
no way.
The narrative surrounding Roach and Davis often invites comparison to the legendary bouts between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. Both rivalries share a common thread: a dominant champion facing a challenger perceived as an underdog, but equipped with exceptional skill and heart. This analogy elevates the current rivalry by linking it to one of boxing's most iconic clashes. It reminds fans that unexpected outcomes can arise when preparation and resilience meet power and reputation, fueling excitement for what this rematch could bring.
Face off against one another. One guy was a massive favorite, had taken a loss, and was seen to be too small, right? And I'm talking about Evander Holyfield versus Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield was a major fight. But Iron Mike Tyson was viewed as a destroyer, okay? He was the baddest man on the planet. He was indestructible. The fact that he lost to James Buster Douglas was an anomaly because Mike Tyson was...
Evander Holyfield's performance against Mike Tyson remains one of boxing's greatest examples of determination and tactical brilliance. Holyfield's ability to withstand Tyson's overwhelming power defied expectations and altered boxing history. Similarly, Roach's resilience against Tank Davis's feared knockout punch shocked many and changed perceptions.
With Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is eerie similar. Lamont Roach coming up in weight, seen to be too small. Lamont Roach opened up as a 25-1 underdog. Lamont Roach, they had history. Mike Tyson and Holyfield had history. Now, they didn't fight in the amateurs, but they had sparring history, and it was said that Holyfield got the best of him in sparring, but they had some good sparring sessions, right? Now, Lamont Roach didn't get the victory, but he frustrated Tank Davis, and we never seen Tank Davis look like that in the fight. He hit him with a shoulder bar. He tried to bite him at one point in time in the 6th round. He took a ill-advised knee and didn't get counted in the 9th round, right? A lot of things took place. He never truly hurt Lamont Roach, hit him with good, clean punches, but never got hurt. Lamont Roach ate the punches, similar to Holyfield, where we seen him get hit with some big punches from Mike Tyson, but weathered the storm. But he visibly hurt Mike Tyson more than Mike Tyson hurt him, and it was shocking. And this, because of the Holyfield-Mike Tyson situation, it makes the Lamont Roach Tank Davis fight that much bigger. Reason being is the intrigue now, because that's the most recent situation that you can compare to with high-profile fighters, right? You got to.
Joe Rogan's commentary adds a critical layer of analysis to this rivalry. While acknowledging Gervonta Davis's tremendous knockout power, a factor that has overwhelmed most opponents, Rogan highlighted Roach's exceptional durability and fighting spirit. Roach's ability not only to survive Tank's power punches, but also to respond effectively enough to earn a draw speaks volumes about his skill and toughness. Gervonta Davis's camp openly acknowledges the formidable challenge Roach presents, particularly praising Roach's intelligence and toughness inside the ring. Despite this respect, Tank's team remains confident that with minor strategic adjustments and improved focus, Davis can decisively win the rematch. They attribute the close nature of the first encounter to execution errors rather than an outright skill deficiency.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, that they don't exist. It's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity. You know?
What's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily a stoppage. A stoppage is good, but not necessarily. You just got to put.
Roach's approach to this rematch goes beyond seeking a narrow victory. He aims to make a definitive statement by knocking out Davis. This ambition drives every aspect of his preparation, pushing him to train harder and sharpen every skill. A knockout win over a fighter like Tank Davis would not only secure a significant triumph, but also elevate Roach's status to legendary heights. This pursuit of greatness, beyond championships and paydays, reveals a fighter motivated by legacy and the desire to be remembered as one of boxing's best.
That you sent him to retirement earlier.
My initial plan is to win, but every time I fight, I'm trying to knock somebody out. So, if that happens in the midst of it, that'd be a blessing. That'd be definitely something that I work for, because I work my ass off. But if he on his way out, well, why not kick his ass out?
With this fight, you are considered.
It does in a sense, but yeah, it do for sure. I ain't gonna lie. I like to prove people wrong, and I damn sure like to prove myself right. So it definitely gives me an incentive. And like I said before, I've been here before. Mm-hmm. The Hector fight, they had me duck. Right now, they really got me. They really got me.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.